experience.
I loved this experience.
There was a lot of complaining about the whole experience in plural marriage. It was about her whole experience.
Marty's been such just a wonderful experience. And I've always been fathering and having special experiences with little people.
So it's really a special experience.
That family experience that we all had together.
I love the tree because it was an experience we had together.
And we have a day-to-day, we have an experience every summer. But I'm glad she did it because it gave her a great experience with her mother.
So those were challenging experiences that we were having an experience. Let's say me and a wife would have an experience, or even me and one of my kids would have an experience that's being filmed by our experience being public, because all the fruit that I got from it with my children and my experience.
Our kids are starting to trickle in. We're going to sit down and have a whole family experience here.
We had an experience together.
And there's one time when I'm watching all the wives in the kitchen work together, knocking hips. And I was really pleased to see the experience.
We're starting a new experience.
The pain of this experience has caused much trouble.
That's this beautiful experience.
You keep using the word.
Janelle came in the family, and it diluted this experience I had with Mary.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
The experience of that coming together. Mary comes to the picnic, and we're having this experience. It's like I've gone through an entire experience.
And get that nostalgic experience of, wow, I remember having these experiences in this home.
It was a sweet experience.
But to make it stop.
I got a feeling through this experience that
Having this experience with Ariella here,
I always wanted this big family experience. I had this wonderful experience with my own family.
we had this whole experience with this catfish.
It's just like an old unraveling of our 30-year experience.
Cody wants a soulmate experience with each one of his wives.
It's just a shock to me, the whole experience.
I watched my mom and my dad have a honeymoon experience, and I just wanted to have this sweet experience. You actually just create this really cool experience. It really does create this really cool absence makes the heart grow fonder experience. And I hope to, and I'm planning on having a honeymoon experience.
Today is Groundhog Day.
You know, when I came to the family, I saw this big group family team experience.
Being in this Christmas house is a wonderful experience.
The experience of that coming together. We have an experience. One experience I had, we have this nice family experience. The pain of this experience after this horrible experience, and it was a pleasant experience.
I missed the big experience.
Please stop talking.
The experience of that coming together. We're both mourning this experience,
And that's the experience.
Wink.
Let's try that again. Well, hello, sister friends. Welcome to our Wednesday live. What? For those of you who are joining in because you just saw a notification and you're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? We're doing an extra live. We're doing an extra live because we hit 800 subscribers on my Becoming Wise and Wonderful channel. So thank you, because I know a lot of you are a big part of that. Going over there and subscribing, having your spouses subscribe, having your kids subscribe. I don't care if they watch, just subscribe. I just need subscribers. So when we hit 900 subscribers, we're going to have 2 extra ones. So it'll be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday live stream week. Whoop, whoop. Looking forward to that. That'll be crazy. And thank you. Oh, of course, I never remember names. But thank you to the sister friend who sent me an email and told me where I could find the episode of the dates that they took off. It's on Hulu, and I have Hulu. So we will watch that sometime too. I think what we'll do is we'll get to the end of season 5 because we're near the end anyway. We're doing just episode 7 this time. Episode 8 is the last one. It was a short season. So then episode 9 will go back and it'll be, I think it was season 4, episode 2 that just wasn't on Discovery Plus. And it was Cody taking his wives on dates. Have a date. Do a date. Who am I? So we'll do that one at that very end of this season before we start season 6. I think I look this week, and season 9, I want to say, is the catfishing season, which feels very apropos to me because we're reading in the SOS exclusive Sunday night live stream, of which all of you SOS exclusives, we're having one again tonight too. It's a crazy Wednesday. This is what happens when Jenny doesn't have speech therapy to do on a Wednesday. Whoop, whoop. Very excited. So we're going to meet too as a makeup session, because I missed one week when I just had a brain fart and forgot that it was a Sunday night. Okay, so we will do. So anyway, I was saying that we are reading through Jackie Overton, the Catfishers book, and I use that term loosely. It was never published, self-published online, where you can download the PDF. Basically, it's like it's a paper that she wrote. And we're having a good time deciphering what's true and what's not true in it, where the lies are and where the truths are. And that's kind of fun, because we're noticing now that they're starting to talk about the catfish stuff, or at least the end of last season, at least in the tell-alls. I shouldn't even say at the end of last season. In the tell-alls, they're finally talking about the catfishing thing. Some of the things that Mary revealed about how she was saying, tell your friend to stop asking questions about her or stop being involved, and that Robin's admitting that she got involved and was telling Mary, hey, what's going on? I'm hearing this. Now we're reading that in the book from Jackie Overton, how she knew that Kendra was going over there and talking to her, and that Mary would tell her what happened afterwards, and how Mary didn't say much of anything, and she just kind of played coy, knew she was fishing for information, so she didn't tell her anything. It just sounds so Mary, right? It's exactly the way the catfisher described the scenario where Mary was meeting with Kendra in her house, and Kendra was trying to get information about Sam, and that she was kind of questioning this whole relationship because Kendra was friends with the catfisher. Of course, the catfisher is Sam and is Jackie and is the fake Sam who really never existed. Anyone who's following this for the first time is very lost right now. I understand. It's very confusing. At any rate, when the catfisher was writing in the book, I just keep saying the catfisher because it's both Sam and Jackie. So sometimes I say one and sometimes I say the other, and I know that's confusing to people. When the catfisher wrote about the scenario, it was almost exactly the same scenario when Mary met with Janelle. Do you remember that? Mary with Janelle. Janelle was trying to tell her, listen, I think you need to look out for yourself and everything. And Mary was just sort of like, oh, you think so? Okay. Oh, all right. And she said almost nothing. She revealed almost nothing. And that's kind of the same setup that she was. So situations like that. And of course, this book was written back in like 2015. It was well before this season. It was book again. I use the term loosely. Book without any editor is worse than the Sisterwives book. It's interesting that certain situations perfectly line up with information we're getting now. So I'm like, well, this is true, and this is true, and this is true. And then there's flat out lies in there about how I apologize, and I hope this doesn't keep happening throughout the live stream. My number got on some spam list, and I am now getting about 10 to 15 calls a day, and it's driving me crazy. Okay. I even pay for incognito. I mean, I guess that's more your email address than your phone number. I'm going to look into it and see if your phone number is part of it too. I mean, I don't know. It's starting to become maddening. Most of them are from Sarasota, Florida. Go figure. Okay, so let me say hi to people. Jenny's ringing. I don't even have my phone. Oh yeah, I do have my phone here. I don't even know if my phone was ringing, but it's their Apple devices, so it rings on my computer too. I don't know how to turn that off, or I would. Let me say hello to a few people here. Lynn, thank you for being here and for being our moderator. As always, you do a phenomenal job. I appreciate you. Crafty Nana's here. Mama Squirrel is here. Mama Squirrel's in the house. Rosie Lee. Hello, Rosie Lee. Who else is here? Okay, Squirrel. Noni's here. Hi, Lunty's here. Welcome from abroad in the UK. See, y'all are talking to each other, which is great. Bonnie Stout, good to see you. I'll do like 2 or 3 more, and then we will jump in shortly. Shortly, because I don't have it pulled up. Danny Towns, won't take me that long, though. Good to see you, Danny. Glad you could be here. Patrick's here. Hi, Patrick. Good to see you, too. Okay. Right as the show starts, all of a sudden there's a bunch that jump in. Jessica Denham, hello. And hey, Nicole. Okay, let me pull up Think. Oh. This is a little ASMR for you all. Here we go. So we're only going to do this one episode this time because it's a long one. It's a double one. It's 44 minutes. And the next one is 44 minutes, and that's it. The 2 we did last week were each 22-minute ones. So it worked out good. I don't like it when it turns out that I have a 44 and a 22 left. Now what are we going to do? Have a 3-hour live stream, or one of them's just really short? Okay. Let me skip the intro and turn the sound up for you. I'm working on getting a couch for this room, but it's cream too. But the pillows might add a little bit of color to it. And behind there is a Nashville pillow, which doesn't match those pillows at all. So we'll see what we end up going with. And then I'm going to have a Nashville sign that goes above it. Maybe it might be above the desk here. And then you still don't see it, but I would have to put something above it. So we'll see. I know it's very boring in this office, but I'm getting a sofa bed because this is technically a guest bedroom. Okay. So maybe I don't know if I'll have it together by next Monday, but if we can get to 900 subscribers, I'll see you next Wednesday. That would be insane. That's not going to be I mean, anything's a possibility, but that's a big ask. I know, but just subscribe. And while I'm at it, I am going to go to the link to put in here to have you guys hit subscribe. Costs nothing, but it helps me immensely. Appreciate you. It's a vlog channel that I have. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Okay, we are queued up now. We are in season 5, episode 7. Here we go.
Okay, Logan.
Janelle's here. He's eating the pudding.
That's all I got for your present. So when you come home, just call me. Let me know. I'll make you mock tapioca pudding.
Tonight's Logan's birthday, and we're actually going to make a family announcement that's a little bit of a surprise for all the kids. Actually, a big surprise.
You guys sit down, be quiet, right?
Pause. I don't know what the surprise is. Oh, maybe it's the trip. Because I was going to say, the way he's smiling about it makes me think that Robin's pregnant again. All right, I need to save that because if there's any more fells, we're going to be drinking a lot. All right. I had to go to the bathroom so bad last time, you guys. Like literally, my bladder was hurting. When I got off the live stream, I went to stand up and I had to stop. And I was like, I'm sitting down. I'm like, I can't. I need to wait a second. I need to wait for the sensation to pass. Because if I stand up right now, I'm peeing my pants. And I waited a second. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to run there now. And of course, I had a belt on too. Oh, because I was wearing jeans. That was way too many experiences and fails. I failed the test. I'm a failure. Actually, she would say failure. That one she got correct. Anyway, I'm sorry. This is all I have here today. Although this might put me under because I just finished my muscle milk protein drink. I haven't gone to the bathroom in between. I'm sorry, too much information. This is not the vlog channel. Let's go. They're all collecting in Janelle's living room with the horsies across the back and the horse riding picture on the side and her brown leather couches, her very country cowboy. There's probably a boot lamp there. Oh yeah, behind Logan's head is the boot lamp. Okay, here we go.
No, wait. All right, everybody stop talking. All right, how many of you would like to go on a fun family vacation? Taking 2 RVs to Nauvoo, Illinois!
All the little kids are like, yeah. Big
My whole
kids.
family and 2 campers for 2 weeks doesn't sound exciting.
We're going to take our own church history tour.
Maddie.
We're going to get 2 big RVs. We're going to drive with the RVs for 3 days to Nauvoo.
I'm gonna sleep in your RV.
It's going to be a lot of work.
I'm not the most excited about Nauvoo. Nauvoo just doesn't sound like a fun place to go. It's boring. You get to learn about your culture. You get to learn history.
So since we're taking a trip to Nauvoo, can the older teenagers take a trip to California? Thanks, Dad. You're awesome. Let's go.
It is a family vacation. And it's a lot of work and it's a lot of stress. And so some of the older kids are like,
I think they're stressing out. Yeah, I think some of the kids are stressing out.
I'm stressing out.
Going to Nauvoo is like a pilgrimage. It's where Mormonism really didn't necessarily start, but the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints really got strong there. It's really like going to Jerusalem. So much of our church history revolves around Nauvoo, Illinois. This is where Joseph Smith, the founder of our church, introduced plural marriage into our faith. It also ended up leading to his death. Joseph Smith has a lot of significance in our lives. He taught a philosophy, a religious philosophy, and I believed it. I have 4 wives and 17 children because of a testimony that he gave. I understand that to the LDS Church, I'm a little bit of a problem.
The testimony of his little pee-pee. That's what it was. Based a whole religion off of it. Based on what he wants. Kind of like the L. Ron Hubbard of Scientology had a testimony, and he's been documented as saying, you know, just if you want to make money, start a church. Because you can have people just give you a bunch of money and just say you're doing good with it, whether you are or you're not. There's evil people out there in the world. I don't know. This whole introducing polygamy, that whole idea is not from God, that I know. Moving on.
I'm a polygamist, and they don't advocate it, and they have struggled their entire history for 100 and so years to separate themselves from this identity of a polygamous culture. Essentially, in our perspective, we're the same church then. I mean, it's a history that we share.
The point is to get from Vegas to Nauvoo. That is about 1,600 miles. Nauvoo is 1,000,000 miles away. It's like 4 days.
I love it. We're going to go on vacation. I don't have to think about anything for a whole week.
So building these homes has been very chaotic. It'll be nice to just get away as a family for a couple of days and just put that all away and then come back to it when we're home.
We're going to trade one kind of chaos for another kind of chaos.
Okay, all of a sudden this gives me stress.
Okay, so 2 people are stressing, 2 wives are stressing, 2 wives are not stressing. Christine is stressing. Why? Because Christine's probably in charge of feeding everybody for the entire week. That many people. It's like throwing a huge wedding shower 3 times a day for weeks. Like I can only imagine what she's feeling. Mary's sitting here going, I feel stressed. Mary's the organizer, planner of the whole thing, like where we're going to go, when we're going to be there, who goes where, what we have to do, how we pack into things. I don't know that Cody really listens to her a whole bunch, but nobody else steps up and tries to organize, so she does the best she can. It seems like she's always organized herself. Her home is always organized. Her car is organized. She's got things ready to go. She's on time. She's just not really good at influencing the rest of the family to follow suit. So she's stressed out. Janelle just sat there saying, I'm really looking forward to this. I don't have to think about anything for a whole week. How can you have that many kids? So if she's not going to think about anything, she's not doing any of the planning or preparing, or if you listen to my blog channel at all, you know that I was very stressed the other day over trying to plan a family vacation and the nuances and all that. And I don't have that many kids to organize and plan and prepare. I've got 3, 2 spouses and 1 grandchild, but still the thought of doing that is very stressful. And for Janelle to go, I don't have to think about anything, makes you realize the different roles everyone had. Janelle truly, and she said it herself, loved the role of being the person who left and went to work. She wasn't a huge day-to-day nurturer. I want to be a mommy full-time kind of person. And not everybody is. Some people are like, yeah, get me back to work. I need that solitude. I tell you what, I wanted to do nothing in my life but be a mommy all my life. What do you want to be when you grow up? A mommy. I couldn't wait. I was so excited to have kids. I loved having kids. I loved raising my kids. I loved all that. But there were times I thought, oh, if I could just tap out for 4 hours a day, 8 hours a day, and just turn it off and focus on something else, because it does sort of drive you mad after a period of time. So we have Janelle, who is seeing this as a vacation for herself too, because she's not going to organize, plan, make decisions, anything. She's just arriving and being there. And then we have Robin, who just seems blissfully ignorant. I don't plan to prepare anything. Y'all are paying for it, right? Yeah, this will be fun. Vacation. Interesting how they're handling it very differently. Mary and Christine freaking. Janelle, Robin, whatever. For different reasons, but whatever.
You know what? We picked this trip. We all agreed that this is what we wanted to do, and we picked this trip. Why are we all apprehensive now? Was it like we never really thought it would happen?
Have you not traveled with the 4 of us before? No.
But we need to stick to 3 days. Is that right? We're sticking to 3 days.
Getting there and getting back.
3 days back.
Yeah.
So as long as we know what destination we're going to, or we see something along the way, we just have to talk about, hey, there's also this we didn't think about or plan about. What time is it? Is this something we can fit in?
Do something if it's not on the plan.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Okay. So very different personalities amongst the 2 people who are stressed about the trip, Christine and Mary. Christine's like, okay, so we're going to do 3 days there. We're going to do 3 days back. And then however much time is left over is spent there. And then she's like, so we're just planning on driving for the 3 days. And if we see something along the way that we're like, hey, this looks interesting. What do you guys think? Do you want to stop? That sounds like a freaking nightmare. I'm just like, what? Maybe I think that's how Christine kind of ran her household too. Because there were like kids that didn't go to school. And she's like, yeah, if you don't want to, your grades are above a C, right? Yeah. What do you have to go to school for? Like she just was loosey-goosey. All right. And so that's how she wants to do this. Mary is sitting there like this going, no, we are not going to do that. Could you imagine? I'm totally on Team Mary with this one. You have that many people and you're trying to get to a destination. You have 3 days to get there and you're planning what to do along the way. But somebody else is like, oh, but I just saw this other thing on this billboard. Let's stop there with all these people and all their schedules, including a baby, and just randomly do this now too, which is going to throw off our schedule for the rest of the trip. And we have things planned along the way. No, no, this is what we're doing. We'll come back and do the trip another time if you see something that looks interesting. That's what I would say. I would say, this is our agenda. This is our itinerary. This is what we're following. We see other things along the way that look great. Super. We'll just come back in like 3 years and we'll do those things and repeat the things we enjoyed and maybe find some new things. But no, we are not just throwing additional things in. And Christine's like, oh, okay. Making it seem like Mary's being unreasonable here. I'm Team Mary on this one. As the organizer and planner and preparer and everything of all said trips in our family, don't just randomly all of a sudden go, how about we do this instead today? No. Moving on. Wasn't I a joy to live with? Some of you are like, thank God she wasn't my mother. I did it with a smile and with love.
Oh my gosh. The more we talk about it, the more I'm done. And I'm just saying, just have fun without me because this just sounds like a lot of stress.
Christine, you made it stress by saying, let's just willy-nilly stop wherever. Come on.
Today's the day we're leaving to Nauvoo. I'm frantically trying to get ready to go. And I can't stand leaving my house in a mess. So this is driving me nuts.
We've got to drive through several states. We're going through Utah, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, and ending up in Illinois. It's a long trip.
We're going to try and pull it off in just 3 days with this family. Couple boys. We're actually taking 21 people on this trip. We're bringing Robin's sister Tara along, but Hunter and Logan, unfortunately, have to stay home for stuff that they've got to do here in Las Vegas.
I'm actually really jealous of Hunter and Logan. I'd rather stay home.
Hunter's actually going to a football camp, but it is very strange for me to leave him behind. I'm struggling with it a little bit.
I would definitely rather go to the camp than Nauvoo. I don't really want to go to Nauvoo. I mean, they're going to be driving for 3 days straight. That doesn't sound too fun to me.
Actually, I think that once we leave, it'll be all calm and dandy for the first day. And then after that, it's going to get bad.
That was Maddie.
Robin and I are going to stay in hotels, and Mary and Janelle are going to stay in RVs. And I'm sorry, I don't like the idea of staying in an RV.
For me, I wanted to stay in the RV, so I'm really glad. I thought I'd have to fight for it.
It was actually a really easy decision. Janelle wanted it. Christine and Robin did not want to stay in the RVs, and I'm easy either way.
But it's mostly because of the babies.
I don't think that's what it was.
No, I'm a princess. I'm going to be honest.
I don't think it had anything to do with babies. I think they're just using it as an excuse and saying it's because of the babies.
Maybe you should have a baby so you have an excuse. Until then, you're getting stuck in the RV.
What? Okay, there's so much to unpack there. Sorry, y'all have to pause if you're following along. Start with the fact that I just want to point out that Mary's like, I didn't care. I'd sleep in the RV or the hotel room. So wherever I ended up. She's fine with it. Kind of have to point out for Mary's benefit the times in the past where she has been pretty flexible in terms of like she's not flexible at all and she's rigid and she's mean and all that. I mean, maybe before the show, I would venture to guess she probably was extremely rigid and not very flexible. But when somebody changes for the better, it's our responsibility in life to acknowledge that, if nothing else, even if you're not going to embrace it and say you're going to be my best friend or maybe my best sister friend or whatever, just acknowledge the fact that Christine, I mean, I will say I appreciate the fact that Christine came right out here too and said, no, it's not because I have Truly that I need to be in the hotel room. It's because I'm a princess. Robin didn't say anything, of course. She goes, oh, because I have got the baby. I need to be in the hotel room and I can't stay in the camper. The baby. Yeah. How much do you want to bet Cody did not spend one night in the camper? He stayed in the hotel room. Christine probably got more Cody time than she ever did. I bet he split it 50-50 between the two of them. It made Mary and Janelle have all the kids that were in the camper for the night. I bet any money. I bet any money. Okay. Second part. Cody has the nerve to say to Mary, well, if you want to stay in the hotel room, you just have to have another baby. Until then, you're stuck in the RV. Like punishment. It's an awful, awful thing to say to her. Somebody who's been struggling with fertility, who wants desperately to have more kids and can't. He's awful. Maybe it's his way of saying take Robin up on her offer. But even at that, it's awful because it's Robin carrying your child and holding that. Could you imagine? We would still be hearing it every single tell-all and half of the couch interviews. After what I did for her, the sacrifice I made, I really wanted to have my own kid then, but I waited, and then I had to wait after that before I could have another kid. So my kids aren't close in age because what I did for Mary. I mean, I don't know if Mary would have ever gotten away if she would have allowed Robin to be her surrogate. I think Robin would have guilted her. I mean, she was able to guilt her for like a decade to stay in a loveless marriage. Just based on you're part of this family and I need you here. But if she carried her child, I mean, Mary'd still be married to Cody right now, and she would be absolutely miserable and just financially contributing to the lovely life that Robin has. More money for Robin. Okay, moving on.
Well, for the first time since we moved to Las Vegas, we actually feel comfortable visiting Utah because the investigation on our family's been dropped. So we're able to stop in St. George, Utah, where we're going to meet with the owners of Family Pond. Hey, Chris, how's it going, man?
Hey, Cody, it's good to see you.
They also own the Hiram Smith home, which is the house we're going to be staying in Nauvoo, Illinois. So, Chris, can you brief us on our rental?
It's a really, really neat home. Your family's going to love it. We call it the Hiram Smith Farm.
Hiram Smith is Joseph Smith's brother. Joseph Smith is also the founder of our church as well. And Hiram Smith was his brother, his bestie, his companion, his mate, his cowboy, his right-hand man, his tonto, in fact, and his Robin.
Because our stores are located in Utah, we end up with a lot of collectibles.
And his Robin. Whoa, did you hear that? Is that a dig at Cody for treating Robin as being more special than the rest of them? Did you catch that? She's going on and on and on. He's his bestie. He's this. He's this. He's his Robin. I'm going back 10 seconds so you guys can hear that.
His mate.
All right, I'll go back.
Is Joseph Smith's brother. Joseph Smith is also the founder of our church as well. And Hiram Smith was his brother, his bestie, his companion, his mate, his cowboy, his right-hand man, his tonto, in fact, and his Robin.
Because our stores are located in Utah, we end up with a lot of collectible Mormon history. This is a print of Brigham Young that I bought from a family.
Brigham Young actually became the leader of the Mormon church when Joseph Smith died. They used to call him a modern Moses because he helped move the Latter-day Saints from Nauvoo across the plains to the Salt Lake Valley.
And what makes this one so valuable is this letter signed by Brigham Young. And this piece here was probably worth about $6,000.
We love Uncle Brigham. It sort of looks like somebody.
Uncle
There's
Brigham?
definitely a little bit of a resemblance.
I've never.
Okay. So Robin says, we love Uncle Brigham. Again, Uncle Daddy. She likes to assign these familial, relational titles to people who don't deserve them or haven't earned them. Very weird. And then she goes on to say, and he looks like somebody. And then they put up on the screen this picture that's in the pawn shop of Brigham Young, and then a still shot of Cody next to him. Brigham's not a handsome man. Let's just say that. So I kind of love the dig.
This piece here was probably worth about $6,000.
We love Uncle Brigham. It sort of looks like somebody.
There's definitely a little bit of a resemblance.
I've never thought Brigham Young was attractive. So that people would point out Cody looks like Brigham Young. Like, You're insane. To me, it's all the hair.
I think Brigham Young's good looking, so.
You think Brigham Young's good looking? She likes the big, hairy guys, I guess. I don't go that way. That's weird.
You've probably had 24 wives at least. That had to have been a struggle.
I'm sure that the monogamists look at us and just think, oh, there's no way I could ever live plural marriage. Just like we look at Brigham Young and go, oh, I could never live that magnitude of plural marriage.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I'm going to get my family out of here before they have a trash that place.
Thanks, man. I'm going to get my family out of here.
So the plan for the first day was to get from Las Vegas to Grand Junction, Colorado, which was about 525 miles. So under normal circumstances, you could do about 500 miles in 8 or 9 hours. This ended up being about 15, 16 hours.
I mean, 16 hours of driving every day based on our first day. Suddenly I'm thinking Las Vegas sure looks a lot better.
Yeah, this is where we plug in.
So that it's dark late at night.
Well, we had to stop every couple hours for a potty stop. And a potty stop isn't just 15 minutes. It's an hour long each time.
I mean, the reality is that we really are just slow travel.
Okay, it should be 8 hours, but it took 15. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. They did 7 hours of potty breaks? I don't think so. But thanks for blaming the kids, Cody. 7 extra hours. It's basically doubled. They doubled their trip time because the kids had a potty. And make it make sense. There are toilets in the campers. So unless you have to poop, which is pretty gross, but even in a case of emergency, you could do that. I don't understand why they had to keep stopping. And for that long, too. You can stop on the side of the road if it's the boys, have them pee by a tree and jump back in the camper and off you go. I don't know. Moving on.
Of course. We suck. We suck at traveling.
Yes, you do.
We can't live like this, though, on this trip and every single night be 4 hours late everywhere we go. We've got to make a little bit better time.
There's a long game tracking. It's late. And Cody still wants to have an adult conversation.
Mary, okay, let's sit down and talk about this then.
So we had to have a family meeting.
At 11 o'clock.
Serious? Family meeting 11 o'clock? I want to go to bed. You guys really want to be around me longer? You're kidding me.
So we need to have a schedule. Instead of leaving at 7:30, leave at 8.
Well, the plan was 8, but the plan was 8 this morning, and we're here 3 hours late. I'm just saying, for me, it's realistic to get up and be out of here by 7.
Okay, pause. They have no concept of time in this family. This is the problem here. So first we say it should have taken 7 to 8 hours and it took us 15. Then they're saying we were 5 hours late. Then is it Mary the one that just said, and then Christine went an hour less and then Mary's doing another hour less. Now we're 3 hours later than we thought. Does anybody know math in this family? It's impossible to try to follow along. I mean, I get you just got to take what they say and then do the average or the mean in the middle of it, because some people are going to be hyperbolic and other people are going to underestimate it. Now they're figuring out how to leave in the morning based on the fact they didn't get in until 11 o'clock at night. And that was not the plan. And the plan is, Janelle, I think, is suggesting let's leave 1 hour later than what we plan to leave so that we get a good night's rest. And it seems like Mary's not on board with that. I'll go 10 seconds back. Here we go.
At 7:30, leave at 8.
Well, the plan was 8, but the plan was 8 this morning, and we're here 3 hours late. I'm just saying, for me, it's realistic to get up and be out of here by 7. I'm just saying for me.
And Mary's like, we have a schedule as you have a schedule. I don't care if we stick with the schedule, but we do have a schedule and we need to hit the schedule. Otherwise, we're not going to be on schedule. I'm like only hearing wah, 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 wah.
I really still am concerned because we have a lot to do. I personally don't want to show up at 10 o'clock every night and deal with this every night.
That's great. There's a schedule. That's great. And guess what? Tomorrow night at 11 o'clock when we're sitting down having a schedule because we didn't meet our schedule, I'm going to be just as cranky as now. And I'm going to want to leave.
Can somebody let her sleep on the trip a little bit? You know, I don't know if I could take any more of the cranky Christine.
I stopped because I was falling asleep.
I am fine. Why are you telling me not to drive when I'm fine driving?
Whenever you guys say the word, I'm ready to go.
So I was just ready to melt down because I was too exhausted to sit there and try and delegate. And I wanted to bark orders and have them obeyed.
No idea. And when Cody's angry, sometimes I'm kind of like, ugh, too much.
Okay, that's coming up. They are playing commercials, so I'm going to jump over here and see if
Try and delegate, and I wanted to bark.
Okay, I'm going to close out that browser and use this browser because this one I can bypass the commercials. All right, let me go to the chat here first. All right, Danny, thank you for hitting the like button and telling everybody else do the same. Hit the like button. I appreciate you. Subscribe if you haven't, and then go over to Becoming Wise and Wonderful and subscribe there as well. When we hit 900 subscribers over there, we will do 3 live streams that week on this channel. I'm sure those dates were boring. Yeah, maybe that's why they took the episode down. It was like snooze fest of watching Cody with 3 boring dates. I don't know. We'll see when we actually watch it. Bonnie, interesting. I watched a video where Mary introduced her friend that was also catfished by Sam. That's an episode that'll be coming up in season 9, I think. Everyone was listening to every word she was saying about the experience, and Robin wouldn't make eye contact. That'll be fun to watch when we get there. No, Danny, the extra live is tonight. Tonight. Do I have it posted? I think it's posted. It should be posted. Let me double check. YouTube Studio, content, live. Yeah, scheduled for June 17th. Yep. And it's on members only too. Yep. So it's showing up. It's there. It's there. It's this evening at our regular SOS time, which is 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm in a different time zone, so I always have to pause and think. Okay. Yep, I'll see you tonight. I hope you can be there. All right. Let me go back to the chat. Stacy's been a member for 14 months. Whoop, whoop. Don't get in trouble at work listening to us, Stacy. Kimberly's at her first live stream. Welcome, Kimberly. I'm glad you were able to make it. I'm going to have to clear this with my people. Is that doing 3 live streams a week? I know I might put you over the edge, Lynn. Lindsay said put the sky. That is the other one that I have behind here. That I don't know what I'm going to do in this room. But this adds more color, which this room needs. But I also have my Nashville skyline pillow. So, which I think is what's going to end up in this room, to be honest with you, because I have the big Nashville metal sign too. So it'll be kind of like a Nashville room. We'll see. I actually haven't washed these yet since I got them. There's got to be a place for them though, because they're absolutely beautiful. It's embroidered. I just love them so much. Maybe I can find a place at home. Maybe I'll just take them home and stick them on that couch there. Or maybe I'll keep them here and rotate it when I do live streams here. I don't know. I think they're beautiful though. I want to use them somewhere. I have to figure it out. All right. I love how somebody yelled no. I know, Nicole. Did you hear that? Let's go on a road trip to Illinois. No! Gabe was excited. So it's like everyone around Gabe's age and younger were excited. Although Aurora didn't seem excited at all. But you know why? Because I think she heard somebody go, no. So she's like, until she realized that probably the other kids her age around her were saying, yeah. Although, I don't know. Seems like she's always hanging on Logan. So if Logan wasn't excited about it, she may not have been. Logan, Garrison, and Hunter hanging on all the time. Mom Squirrel says 4 days in an RV with Cody is punishment. 100%. Christine has to buy the cream of wheat in bulk for this trip. She's probably responsible for packing it all in her area of the camper too. She has to have all the food for all these people for an entire week. But the other camper Mary's in, so she can just put her own personal belongings in there. But you're going to have to put your personal belongings in your kids' belongings and all the food for everybody, because that's what you're responsible for in the family. Seems to be how things work in this family, because we're doing everything equal. Whichever camper you're riding in, you're responsible for everything you're bringing has to be in your compartment underneath the camper. Janelle's probably paying for everything. Yeah, you know, in fairness to Janelle, who's not worried at all about this trip, and he's kind of like, okay, I think it's going to be a good time. I can't wait to go and worry about nothing. Just be one with nature. She loves the out of doors. It was all her hard work that she's done all these years. It's paying for all of this. And Christine's hard work to get the show on television, quite frankly. So really, I guess Mary worked. I don't know if she worked full time. The whole thing is just sad, because now I'll go down the rabbit hole of she should have gone to college because she wanted to go to college, but then stupid Robin prevented her from going to college. But she could have been a full-time paying contributor to the family, doing something that she really liked to do. It's just the whole thing is. All right. I don't lock in a timeline when I travel. I do. Well, I mean, I don't. Yeah, anytime I've gone a long way, it's like, okay, you have to be at animal camp by this day, so let's leave this time and let's spend 2 days at this city halfway in between. And then I book the hotel ahead of time so that I know we have this many hours to get here. But there's there's fun time planned in there. It's like, okay, we're going to not drive all the way there for 13 hours in the first day. We're going to go 7 hours the first day and stay here and spend 2 nights there so that we can also take in the city and do other things. It also gives you that buffer time if something were to have gone wrong, and then finish the rest of it. But yeah, every time I travel somewhere, there's usually a reason. Like this one, I didn't know if I was coming straight here or if I was going to stop and spend the night at my daughter's house, which I did. Because she was available, and a lot of times they have friends that come stay with them at their place, so I can't well, I could, but I could also just drive straight through. Patrick said that was so rude of Cody to throw that at Mary. Yeah, and he did it with a mean spirit on top of it too. Like that sassy kind of, well, I'll show you, like she could control this lack of having children. Ridiculous. Oh my God, Robin took her nanny. Yeah, on top of smashing all these people into the air. Where did the nanny stay? Do you think they made the nanny stay? No, because you would have had your kids with you in the hotel room. So maybe Cody didn't stay with Robin? That's a good question. These are the questions that would be really interesting to the viewer. It's like, okay, well, this adult stayed in this camper, this adult stayed in this camper, and these two adults each had hotel rooms. What about the nanny? I bet they made her stay in a camper. I bet they did. I bet Robin did not allow her to stay in her room with her. Unless, well, no, I take that back. She did stay. I would say she stayed in the hotel room with Robin on any day that Cody wasn't staying with her because she needs the extra help. She can't put 4 kids to bed on her own, even though, like, one of them is already a teenager practically. Are you kidding? One night, no, she can't do that. So she would have had her in there, but like that would have upset the sleeping schedule. And there's no way Cody's going to go an entire week without having Robin Nuki time. Yep. Nicole, Batman, and Robin. Oh my gosh, I never really thought about that when it came to the catfisher referring to herself as Batman. Splash Zone Uncle Daddy. How appropriate, a pawn shop. Right. Rosalie thought they said porn shop, not pawn shop. Okay, I'm trying to catch up on, there's a lot of chatting going on. You guys are awesome. Keep chatting. I'm doing a quick scroll and then just stopping randomly. Oh yeah, we're getting ready to see Cody slamming a door into his temper, just like a teenager. That's coming up. So much joy in this episode. Yeah, he's already like really insulted Mary. He's like putting his hands in his head as he's insisting on having a family meeting at the very end, as opposed to being a leader, Cody, and just saying, listen, we stopped this many times. We are going to see to it that everybody pees here, and then we're not going to stop again. If they have to pee between them, they can just use the camper, and we'll just flush it out when we get to the campground. They're staying at a campground, so they can flush out the toilet when they're there. They can dump at the campground. Mama Squirrel says, Cody's so much fun on a trip. Who wouldn't want to spend that time in an RV with them, right? Oh, Mama Squirrel thinks they got a 3rd hotel room for the nanny to take care of the baby at night. That could be. Okay. Okay, Patrick. Patrick is Patty. If I write it down, maybe I'll remember. I'll just, every time I see Patrick, I'm going to think it begins with a P. There's not that many P words. If I call you Pam, I apologize. Is Patrick your husband, Patty? A lot of people have their husbands' YouTubes. And so then I don't know. Like, I just know from the things you say that you're a female in here. But every now and then there's like guy names that comment that I just can't tell. Or they'll make a comment just like under a video and go, this was really great, or you look good today, or something like that. And a lot of you give nice compliments, like, which is, God bless you. I mean, look at me. But every now and then you'll be like, oh, I really love that shirt or something. And if I get a compliment and it's a guy's name, it just like throws me off a little bit. And so I'll just like either like it or just say, thanks, one word in there. I don't, I'm so far behind on comments that it's not much of an issue anymore. But it's nice when I know for a fact, although Patty, I could tell from your comments that you comment a lot. Okay. Let's continue on here. Let me fast forward this. change browsers. This is the one that lets me fast forward the commercials. Gotta love it. Okay. RV park. Packing it up. Cody is.
When are we gonna get out of
Kids are eating.
Colorado?
We drive across Colorado all of today, and then we're just into Kansas when we stop.
I'm hoping that we'll stay more on top of our schedule today. It was really late when we got in last night, and it was kind of stressful.
No one knows what they're doing. It's just annoying.
Our plan for the second day of the trip is to drive all the way through Colorado, and we'll stop in Goodland, Kansas at an RV park tonight, hopefully at a decent hour, and that should only be about 440 miles.
We're talking about a 16-hour day. It's just going to be till midnight. I know it.
No, it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be a 16-hour day. That's what... you know what? Thank you, TLC. When we used to watch these shows, or when I should say when I watched the show, all this stuff would go over my head in the past. And now it seems like there was some clever editing, and maybe TLC wasn't always on their side. So for Mary to be able to articulate, this is how long it took before, and then this is what we're doing now, and now it's only 440 miles, so it should go quicker. I mean, they were supposed to get there in eight hours last time. So I don't know. I have to sit there and do the math myself. I don't know how many miles I drive to things when I drive, to be honest with you. But when you have an RV, you don't have to keep stopping. That's the kicker. Whenever I stop, you have to stop because you have to pee. You can't pee in your car. Suppose if you're a dude and you have a plastic bottle, you can. But other than that, you can't be in the car. But a camper, you can. Okay, so Janelle is in her camper scooping out some yogurt, and there's a bunch of kids had cereal, and that was Savannah who wanted to know when we're going to get there. All right, now there's a picture. The campers are on the road.
It's different being by each other in houses, like because you have your own space to go to. But in a camper, it's like you just don't have to sit next to each other. And I know it's kind of hectic.
I like road trips, but not with the entire family and two.
Okay, in this one camper are all the teenagers and Solomon and what's the girl's name? Tara, Robin's sister, the nanny. So the nanny, and the nanny's in there. The older girls were all sitting at a table having something to eat. The camper's already going and they're having something to eat. They're all talking to each other. But Aspen has Solomon on her lap. I don't know where Tara is. Or Robin, for that matter.
Little camper. And it's really, really loud.
I don't like to play anything.
I'm already ready to be there.
By the time we got to Goodland, Kansas, it was getting late, and it had been another really long day.
I feel like I should be a gypsy.
Whenever we travel, I try and just maintain a schedule or just make sure that I spend time with all of my wives. So that means that I'll rotate based upon where we're at.
I hate that word.
Based upon where we're at. Based upon the situation, not based upon the day. Now, I'm not going to make it fair. We have a set schedule, and I go this one, this mother, this wife, this wife, this wife, this wife, this wife. No, like, you know, taking in consideration of like who's where and what's where, you know, like if it's the time of the month, I'll hang out with Christine or Mary or something like that. If it's not, I'll be spending most of my time with Robin because, you know, the situation, the baby needs me. And yeah, Dayton was feeling needy, so he needed time with Tara. So Robin needed me there. Now Robin's going to go on to say she hates the word rotation. Come up with a new word. It's going to mean the same thing, Robin. Your husband rotates between you and 3 other wives. Wake up. Are you just getting aware of this now?
I try and just maintain a schedule or just make sure that I spend time with all of my wives. So that means that I'll rotate based upon where we're at.
I hate that word.
Schedule.
Rotate.
Did I say rotate?
Rotate.
Did I say rotate? Good night.
What you doing?
Good night, girls. See you, Peyton.
When we travel, Cody gets overwhelmed and he's often grumpy. Oh, grumpy.
I like that word.
Dumpty.
I like it too. That's good.
Oh, he just
And when
slammed the
Cody's
door.
angry, sometimes I'm kind of like, too much to deal with. It's just too much. But other times I think, I can turn this around. Give me a couple minutes. We can switch this around. He can be happier.
Be happy right now.
That is not how I do it.
He's so mean to Christine always. Be happy right now. Christine's a nice person.
It's day 3, and we need to get to Maysville, Missouri, and we've got about 475 miles to get there.
So originally we talked about doing the trip there in 3 days. Here we are on day 3 and we're this far behind. There's no way.
There's a lot of factors here that are slowing us down. It's the wind, it's fatigue. I'm really concerned about whether we're getting enough sleep. Every day we're getting to bed way past midnight. I'm very concerned about the traveling.
This wind is going to cause some real problems if it doesn't go away.
We get up, we strike our camp, we get the RVs moving, and basically it's getting worse and worse. So we're like, let's just get on the road and get as far as we can. We're fighting the weather the whole way. I'm like wondering if we're not going to be shut down. The awnings that go over the push outs were actually catching in the wind and it was pulling them out. So I get off the road and we got to figure out what to do.
Fix the awning.
I've had 2 nights in a row where I've been driving all day, and today we've been fighting the wind all day, and I've had 4 hours of sleep 2 nights in a row. And I was just done.
I think I might have walked around enough to be awake. Do you need a break now?
No, I'm fine.
Do you want to just constantly drive?
I would love to constantly drive.
4 hours of sleep is not enough.
Why are you telling me not to drive when I'm fine driving? You're the one that needs to get back and lay down.
I stopped because I was falling asleep.
I'm fine.
We've just got to get a rotation here, okay?
So you're forcing me to not drive even though I'm
Mary,
saying...
do you want me to ride with you?
Cody, why don't you want me to drive? I am fine driving. You're tired. Go take a nap. So whenever you guys say the word, I'm ready to go.
I was just ready to melt down because I was too exhausted to sit there and try and delegate. And I wanted to bark orders and have them obeyed.
Pause. He's such an idiot. He's such an idiot. He's giving an irrational command or request, like, "Oh, you want me to take over now?" And she's like, "No, I'm fine." Yeah, but you can't just sleep on. You can't have just 4 hours sleep. First of all, he doesn't even know she had 4 hours sleep. He probably was not in the same vehicle she was last night. But at any rate, you just can't do that. And she's like, "But I'm fine. You're the one that's tired. Take a nap. I'm fine. Let's keep going." As opposed to driving during this time, he's standing there and having this argument and wasting another 15 minutes of drive time to try to force an irrational thing to happen. The person who feels wide awake and who loves driving would like to continue to drive, and he's trying to get her to leave so he can drive and put everybody at risk. It makes no sense, but he's getting angrier and angrier and angrier as he's sitting there. And only because there's cameras, he's like trying to hold it. And he's like, and Mary's like, "Okay, look, I'm fine. So give me the word and we'll go." And he is just reeling. Now, Robin's sitting there the whole time just watching this all go down. That's where we are right now. And this is where he's like, "I just want to bark orders and have them obey." And this is kind of why the women don't, Cody. Let me just write this down in case I need to reference it in the future. This is why you're not the leader, because when you want to bark orders, they're stupid and they don't make sense. And there's a better way. And you're just not, you don't have the brain capacity to think through all the options or to just be logical. Because what's logical right now is the one who says they want to drive and is wide awake should be the driver. Moving on.
I was just ready to melt down because I was too exhausted to sit there and try and delegate. And I wanted to bark orders and have them obeyed.
I think that word obey is in fact a four-letter word. Cody, I think that we do our best. We understand that you get tired. We understand that you get stressed out. But for you to just throw out, I think you should obey me, it's kind of like, well, that's offensive.
Just keep waiting. We just keep waiting. When I'm really grumpy, it's hard to sit here and try and sell everybody. Can we all leave at the same time right now? Would that be okay with all of you?
Slam the door.
I have no idea.
So Robin says, what are we waiting for? And so Mary's like, I have no idea. And she's like, I'm confused. He didn't even answer Robin. He's got himself so worked up over nothing. She wants to drive. She's waiting to drive. He's like, I guess we'll just keep waiting. Robin actually asked an intelligent question. Wait for what? What are we waiting for? Let's go. Mary's in the driving seat as we speak, ready to go. And he's trying to like rearrange all the drivers around. And I don't know, do I have Mary do what? And then his neck. Oh, I figured it out. Okay. He doesn't want to be in that other camper. I don't know if Mary's camper has the older kids maybe and Robin. And yes, it does. Because Robin's in this camper, which means Solomon and the nanny and her kids are in this camper too. And there was one point that they did a panoramic shot of campers, and we saw Gabe and Solomon in a carrier seat. And Gabe, and we know that the older kids are all in there where Solomon is, and then probably the nanny as well. So he's with the crazies in the other camper, all the young ones that are probably screaming, and Christine is over there. And Janelle, but he's probably over Christine. He doesn't want anything to do with Christine. And he's getting grumpier and grumpier, which is making Christine want to speak up. Now, Janelle will say nothing. She just lets it go, so he doesn't mind Janelle. But Christine's probably like, why are you being a crabby butt? He wants to get into that camper because he said to Mary, so do you want me to just ride with you? She's like, no, you're the driver. You said you want to drive this camper and give me a break. It made no sense. Now it makes sense. Why is he trying to get Mary to get out of the driving seat and he goes in there? Because Robin is there. And it's the quieter camper. Because when she's like, no, I'm fine. He goes, so you want me to just ride with you? No, Cody. If you feel like driving, drive the other one. Or go take a nap and let somebody else drive it. I don't know who the drivers all are. We have not seen Christine or Janelle drive one of these campers yet. But it all makes sense. Now it all makes sense. His whole irrationality was him having a separate agenda in his head. This is so Cody Brown. He had a separate agenda in his head, and that was to get into the other camper and get out of the camper he's in right now. And so he thought he could manipulate Mary by saying, you've only slept 4 hours. You can't keep driving. Until she just kept saying, no, I can. Oh, you want me to ride with you then? It makes no sense. So everyone's confused. Mary's confused. Robin's confused. Nobody understands why he's so upset and what they're waiting for. He's waiting for things to change so he can get out of the camper he's in. Done. Figured it out. Makes sense. Now it makes sense. The fact that he offered, and when he said it, I just sat there and thought, no, why would she want you to ride next to her? That doesn't make any sense. So you want me to ride with you? Huh? What? Now it all makes sense. Okay. Let me jump ahead. Okay.
third day of our trip to Nauvoo, and all of a sudden we're driving in this huge windstorm, and we're just exhausted.
So you want to just constantly drive?
I would love to constantly drive.
So it's a little stressful.
What are we waiting for?
I just basically had it and I kind of lost it.
What's wrong? I have no idea. Where did that come from? I don't even know what he's mad about. Is he mad because I want to drive? I'm not tired. I can drive. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. I don't know.
So there are two things going on. I was exhausted and I was trying to make it so I could ride with every single wife. And I was couldn't get my words out, couldn't figure it out. So I stormed off.
Wow. Okay, let's go back and listen to the second confession. I was exhausted and I was trying to ride with every single wife. Meaning I want to be with Robin. That's what it was. He wanted to get away from Christine.
I was exhausted and I was trying to make it so I could ride with every single wife. And I couldn't get my words out, couldn't figure it out. So I stormed off.
Wow.
Okay, we're leaving right now.
Child.
Okay.
A petulant child.
I'm ready.
I was exhausted. So let's stop talking about my lack of brain function.
Pause. Cody gets his way in the end. He goes, okay, let's go. He's walking into the camper with Robin and Mary. And he's, okay, let's go. He wins. His manipulation continues.
So Nauvoo, Illinois is really important to us. It's important to our faith and to our church. It's where our prophet, Joseph Smith, really started establishing this community. Sadly enough, it's also the area where Joseph Smith was murdered.
You know, since we're going to drive 1,500 miles across
Christine's
America,
driving.
why not stop and see some stuff?
Or some national treasures.
We could call them national treasures.
When I was online looking at different places that we could stop along the way, I found a little place outside of Topeka, Kansas called Truckhenge.
What?
This guy has got these trucks that he has cemented into the ground and they're standing up. I don't know.
Welcome. How y'all doing? I want to put a smile on your face before you leave. Truckhenge was given the first annual non-traditional art award from the Topeka Art Council last year. See, Shawnee County brought a search warrant in and said I had to pick my trucks up, so I picked them up.
He flipped them off. All the kids and the parents and Cody and everyone are like, he has a t-shirt that says, you say I'm crazy as if that's a bad thing.
So I put them up.
They took me to court and filed public nuisance charges. I said, Your Honor, they told me to pick them up. I picked them up.
They were coming in trying to tell him what to do with his trucks. And he's like, this is my property. I don't have to do anything. So, well, they said, you got to put the trucks up. So he put the trucks up.
The county told me to pick my trucks up, so I picked my trucks up.
I put them up.
Oh my gosh, you just did it. You flipped people off.
I didn't. I was giving him my support.
Quoting? You were
I was
quoting him?
quoting him.
Family? Is that? And next I know, I look over there, there our darling teenagers are with him.
Oh gosh. No, I had no idea that I was raising a bunch of hippies. I love farmer style hoarding. It's the best, man.
Oh, that's great.
People have a good time when they come here.
That's awesome. Thank you. That's great. Cool. He drove me nuts. Sorry.
You gotta have a little fun.
He lives in the middle of nowhere.
Christine's
makes everything by himself. Hates the government.
What's amazing about it, Gwenny? The stuff.
Is this real? Really?
This is the place. There is no place like this place, so this must be the place. I have enough trouble with one wife.
Princess.
Let people live the way they want to. Ain't nobody's got business how you live your life. As long as you ain't shooting or killing nobody, if you want to have 5 wives, that's the American way.
Truckhenge was an absolute hit. I think our kids were absolutely entertained by it. And frankly, I was entertained by it. I had a good time.
pulling into
We
the
got
RV
into the Pony Express
late.
RV park so late.
again.
Oh.
Our hotel's 12 miles away.
You know what? I need to stop. I need to get everybody out of my face, and I got to figure this out. I don't know what's going on. I had no idea until a half hour ago. We had to go 12 miles for our hotel. Mary, I don't plan on leaving here early tomorrow at all because I'm done.
I don't think you need to be barking at me about it.
I'm just letting you know, just start planning that direction.
It was really late, and everyone was really tired, and there was a lot of tension.
Well, we've got hotels are 12 miles away, so I've got to take people to the hotel first. I won't be going to sleep until 1 or 2 a.m., and that's been every night this week, and I'm just ready to stop camping, and we haven't even got there yet.
We're all basically fighting at this point.
Maybe we shouldn't have stopped at Truckhenge so we could arrive at a decent time and not be so crappy, Cody. This is Aspen now on the couch. We're all basically fighting at this point, she says.
No, I didn't have fun today. Yeah, well,
Gwendolyn says, no, I didn't have fun today. And now this is Maddie.
kind of are sick of each other.
Jason, I need you to go find the garbage and throw that away.
Dad's stressed because he just wants to get there now, and he's feeling how hectic it is, I guess.
So we need a powwow right now, the adults only. We've left
Another
every
meeting.
single day. I've gotten 4.5 hours of sleep. I need to sleep.
Okay.
Everything we've done has taken hours and hours and hours longer. We're not getting out of here on time.
Pause. Can I just point out they're traveling in campers? Christine we saw driving. Mary we saw driving. I don't know if Robin and Janelle drive or don't drive. They're capable, but I don't know if they're too scared to drive it, or I think Janelle would do it with no trouble. Wait, didn't she say she wanted... Maybe she doesn't like to drive something that big, because when they moved across country, she had... But that could have just been convenience. Anyway, and Robin's too prissy. She can't drive something like that. I mean, my gosh. So you have two drivers. If Cody, indeed, for 3 days, had only gotten 4 hours of sleep each night, he can lay down in the bed that's above the cab in all these campers they have, or a couch in the back or anywhere, and fall asleep with no trouble, no matter how much noise is going on. I guarantee you, if I were that tired, it does not matter what's happening around me. I can go right to sleep. And you know, that man probably has his own little earphones and his everything else on top of it. I wouldn't even need that. Just like, let me lay my head down right here, right where I am. I don't even need a pillow. I would lay on the floor of the camper. Just, I want to sleep and sleep. Somehow, he can't figure that out. Why aren't we rotating and letting people sleep during the day who didn't get enough sleep at night? Because maybe some of the moms are tired too, because they're putting the kids down. Cody's not putting the kids down unless it's Robin's kids, and the nanny's busy. I'm just saying. This is maddeningly frustrating to watch somebody who has such a complete lack of leadership leading this many people. I don't know how the wives did it. And the kids also, they're all like, there's no plan, there's no organization, we don't know what we're doing. No executive decision of, wow, it looks like we're going to be getting in really late at night and I've only been getting 4 hours sleep. We can't stop at this Stonehenge thing. Let's get into the campground earlier and like have a fire pit or play games on the thing, or do something for the kids to entertain themselves after we get to the campground. No foresight. None. No foresight. Moving on.
I've gotten 4.5 hours of sleep. I need to sleep.
Okay.
Everything we've done has taken hours and hours and hours longer. We're not getting out of here on time.
Okay, good call. So we need to fix it from here on out.
We say that every night and nothing ever changes.
Well, we've scheduled in too much, or we've scheduled the trip too fast.
We have not scheduled in too much, Cody. We've scheduled almost nothing.
Okay, well, I can't go every single night.
But Cody, you're the only one complaining. We're trying to make it all work.
We're tired out, we're stressed out, and so we just decided to rally up. So we just gathered everybody up to have prayer.
All right, everybody huddle up. Come on, huddle up. Our dear Heavenly Father, we're very grateful for our many blessings. We're grateful that we've traveled safely today. We're grateful for our help and our strength.
When you're kind of at a point where you feel like you're going to lose your temper and you're with your family and those you love, you know that losing your temper can do a lot of emotional damage. And so I just want to call on God to help me maintain a decent disposition.
Bless us to love one another. Teach us to be kind and patient. We love thee, Father in heaven, in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
You know, because in a family like ours, it's important to try and keep things emotionally safe. And I'm far from good at this.
Safe.
But I'm trying.
There's a quote that I wanted to share with you.
Ugly.
To think fame.
Hold on. I am going to, here it is, play our classic scenes and read to you our big supporters and SOS exclusive supporters. Here we go. Big supporters: April S., Sally House, Senior Andrade, Yvonne, Carol, Sailboat RN, CP, Jen, Deborah Sabella, Liz S., Deanna Y. Rick, Owen the Mini Chef, Mary, Linda W., Aaliyah, Crafty Florida Lady, Shaniqua Smith, Knit My Bit. Our exclusive SOS supporters are Lisa F., Macbeth, Jessica Turner Long, Southern Hollow Homestead, Jane Morgan, Everyday Faith with Kim, Ladybird's Mom, Lisa O., Kitty 1838, Amanda Scott, Mary S., me, myself, Katie, Adley Fields, Crafty Nana, Holy Moly, Lady from Mars, Tammy G., Lisa Doherty, Sandra, Emily Roy, Living an Eclectic Life, Holly Jones, Cindy Diller, Kendra MP, Kenya Pinheiro, Monica Nilsson Solhus, Birdie K., Carol Annie D., Lisa Elmer, Libby Scher, Janet Ebert, Steph Stevens, Ito Sodal Peterson, I'm Your Huckleberry, Jacob Three Boys, Becky S., Tracy's Fractured History, and more. Lavender Vanilla, Joni C., Joni C615, Allie D., Echo Gilman, Christine Warhope, Lean, TD, Steamfrog99, J. Lou, Jennifer Harmon, Evie, Stacy G., Karen Perk, Skill Virgo, Shotzi's Pete's, Marsha Cooper, Diane Almeida, Farron, Lindsay B., Lisa, Sochitel El Mario, Carla Colson, Alexandria Swan, Rain Lady, Sarah Lewis, Marie Crab, Waldo's Mom, Danny Towns, Ms. Lita, Lynn Skinner, Donna Redmond, Jessica Denham, and Caitlin. Thank you for being supporters, and thank you, all of you. Keep the lights on level supporters as well. Your names are going to be scrolling across the bottom very soon.
They're adults. Bye-bye.
He's so great. What a guy. All right. Pungent Purity. Oh, you guys are naming the scenes. The Kidney. I like Pungent Purity. I've never heard that term before. Logan and Hunter are sitting at home with a couple of teenies watching sports on TV. What are teenies? Is that a British word, Lunty? What's a teenie? Couple of, is that like beers? Is that a term for beers? That would be what I would have put in that sentence. I refer to teenies, I would think of as like the small children, the teenies. Like they call them the littles. What are teenies? Educate us, please. Where's Truly? Well, she's on the trip. She's just not on camera because that was the excuse they said in the couch interview as to why Christine and Robin, or Cody said, as to why Christine and Robin had to be in the hotel rooms is because they had the babies. And then Christine's like, that's not why I needed to be in a hotel room. It had nothing to do with it. I'm just a princess. It's not a princess to say, I don't want to sleep in a camper with a whole bunch of rowdy kids, that I'd rather be in a hotel room with just my own kids. It's just normal and logical. Janelle's just weird. That's a good question, April. I wonder if they took a plane, if they could make it on time, or they'd miss their flight. I bet they have missed so many flights. All right. The teenies can be sister wives' closet jewelry. We all have to guess what teenies are until we hear back from Lundy. Oh, maybe a martini. Yes. Oh, they're tins of beer. Rosalie. Oh, you're in the UK too, aren't you, Rosie? I think you are. Oh, tinnies. They're pronounced tin, not teenies. Tinnies. They're tins of beer. Oh, so the can, what we call, like this. This would be a, okay, so the question is, are tinnies only referred to as tinnies when it's beer, or are cans of soda tinnies as well? Do tell. Okay. I need to learn all these new words. Oh, Lundy answered. Wait, I gotta go back and see Lundy's answer. Cans of beer. All right. A tinny is a can of beer. Ha ha! I love new words, especially when they're like from another country. Tinnies. Can of beer. There you go. Okay. Whoops, we're not quite queued up yet. Hold on. Okay, we're back.
We're finally to our last travel day, and it's a fairly easy one, only 250 miles. Yay! Because they're supposed to be there by now. Scheduled it so that we got most of our miles behind us in the first 3 days. Because on the last day, we get to stop in Hannibal, Missouri, which is Mark Twain's boyhood home.
Knowing that we had less miles to go and a little bit of time to have some fun just kind of relieved the stress of the whole situation. So today is the fun day.
Good afternoon. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Henry Sweets, the curator of the Mark Twain Boyhood Home and Museum. This is where young Sam Clemens grew up.
Samuel Clemens, whose writing name was Mark Twain, traveled the United States, and he had been through Utah territory during the height of Mormon polygamy. So our tour guide, Dr. Sweets, actually told us a little bit about what Mark Twain had to say about polygamy.
He said, our stay in Salt Lake City amounted to only 2 days, and therefore we had no time to make the customary inquisition into the workings of polygamy. I had the will to do it until I saw the Mormon women. Then I was touched. These poor, ungainly, and pathetically homely creatures. The man that marries one of them has done an act of Christian charity, and the man that marries 60 of them.
Okay. I'm going to go back and play it again, but I just want you to know, as he's reading this, it doesn't look like the whole family is there, but it may be the angle of the camera. We see Robin, Cody, Mariah, and Mary in the shot. Cody, Mariah, and Mary are full on laughing. Cody's laughing. Mary's even like covering her face. They're laughing. Robin is like this. She cannot take a joke at all.
I had no time to make the customary inquisition into the workings of polygamy. I had the will to do it until I saw the Mormon women. Then I was touched. these poor, ungainly, and pathetically homely creatures. The man that marries one of them has done an act of Christian charity, and the man that marries 60 of them has done a deed of open-hearted generosity so sublime that the nation should stand uncovered in his presence and worship silence.
Oh, Cody, he's such a good guy. We're so lucky he married this ugly polygamous woman.
You're not ugly. That's the whole thing.
Exactly,
it's when you realize the
That's the
polygamous
joke.
women, some of them are pretty.
Okay.
Wait, he didn't
Did
mean
you
this.
just
He meant
slam
something
us
else.
in there?
Shoving your foot in your mouth?
Maybe you should
Yes,
just let us all
Cody.
speak our
Well,
opinions.
you guys are pretty. I'm not speaking for. I've seen some. Oh, gosh.
I've seen some ugly polygamous men too.
So at what
Yeah.
level are we supposed to worship him?
Case in point, Cody.
Now that he's just gone forward.
According to Mark Twain's words, he's done an act of Christian charity because he's married more than one.
Everyone was ugly back then. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe Mark Twain was ugly.
Mark Twain was ugly.
Okay.
I'm sorry. This is hilarious. I just got to say I'm not offended.
You're not the one being called ugly and downtrodden. You're the one being called semi-god. Really? Of course you're not offended.
I'm not offended.
Back us up a little bit here.
This must have been a reference to all the other polygamists, because my wives are beautiful. Mark Twain, you bastard, shut up.
That's all we needed.
Don't you dare talk about my women that way. I mean, I'll get you, Mark Twain.
That was better.
Act like a dork. Yeah, that makes it better.
When you come into Nauvoo, you almost don't realize you're there. You see some historical period homes. You start to notice the river, and as you come around this turn, there's this huge grassy knoll, and then this temple just stands out, very awe-inspiring. Just kind of hits you right in the face when you come around the corner. Hiram Smith home. This is it. This is it, kidlets. Get out. Get out now, kids.
Hey, you guys made it.
Chris, how's it going, man?
Good to see you.
When I first found out that we were going to stay in Hiram Smith's home, I was ridiculously excited.
All right, come on, kids. We're going inside. Let's go. Okay, kids, come on.
Joseph Smith and Hiram Smith probably had many discussions there.
This is a painting of Hiram.
I was getting goosebumps. This is where he was at. This is where his family was.
He's just a person.
My kids were going to play, or Joseph Smith kids played. It's pretty dang cool.
The reason I love Joseph Smith is because his spirit speaks to me. I think what he did in his life made such a significant impact on mine. My trust
Just a person.
in the doctrines that Joseph revealed is what led me to this beautiful family that I have now.
We didn't know we were going to get a reveal this
Today
episode.
we're meeting with Joseph Johnston, who's going to give us a tour of Old Nauvoo.
That'd be fun. That'd be way fun. Is that the Joseph Johnson
That
right
harmon
there?
in the background would be perfect.
We noticed the guy walking up toward the house.
Today we're
I see him.
doing
Oh, he looks like Jesus.
Looks like Jesus.
Yeah,
It doesn't look like Jesus.
That's gonna be a problem.
He's
All right.
prettier than
She goes,
Cody.
it's almost prettier than Cody's.
No, I'm sorry. Did you see those locks?
Hey, good morning.
He does have
Welcome to
better hair than
Nauvoo.
Cody.
You must be Joseph
He's got
Johnson.
I am
long,
Joseph.
full
I didn't
hair.
expect somebody with longer hair than me.
Yes.
His hair's beautiful. I was jealous of his hair. I'm sure Cody was jealous of his hair. I don't
Totally.
know. Were you jealous of his hair?
Well, that he had some on his forehead, yes. Joseph, you have very many of your tour people.
All right, let me get back to the shot here. Man, this is the most boring vacation ever. So true. Four days in an RV for this. Wow. Can you imagine? What great parenting right there. And the guy from the pawn shop meets him there. That guy just jumped on a plane and went, or just drove there and got there in like 20 hours or whatever, and then waited 3 more days for the rest to arrive. Why not go to a water park like normal people, right? Or I am sure that along the road, there's a gazillion national parks and walkways and things, and just go for a hike in the woods. And I don't know. That's what they traveled for? Yep. Hi, J. Lou. Welcome. Robin doesn't know who Mark Twain is. Robin's RBF. It was an overdrive. It was. No sense of humor. None. Cody's in love with him. I just saw that as I was scrolling by. I don't know who said it, but that was funny. Have you noticed that he never treats Robin unkindly? Yes, Jody. And I was just thinking as I am writing down some of these comments that a good video would be all the lovely things he has said to and about Christine. Awful. Lean vacation. Yeah. Cody just wants to go somewhere, so he calls it a vacation. Yeah. He's not allowed to go by himself, so let's just take everybody, drag them all there, and call it a vacation. To learn how Mark Twain called them straight out. Yep. I think this guy calls him out too, to be honest with you. All right, so we're back. Let me see, I went a little too far, so let me get at the beginning of it. Okay.
Okay, come on, everybody. Okay,
Joseph Johnston.
Okay.
Joseph Johnston, our tour guide, is a member of the Mormon Church, the LDS faith. He's not of our faith. He doesn't live plural marriage.
Because our church hangs on to all of the teachings that were originally revealed by Joseph Smith. Sometimes we run into people that talk about these early years sort of in a very vague way, and that's really discouraging because we want to sit there and explain why we're doing what we're doing to our kids.
Joseph, I just wanted to say that you probably have a lot of Mormon history here.
Pause again. The victimhood is just an overdrive. The fact that they're going and they're learning about their religion in a general overview is awful to Robin, because they want to explain to their kids in details all about their religion. Okay, so do it. You're stop being acting like a victim. You're not even a victim. Stop acting like you're a victim. When you go back at night, when you're having meals during the day, when you're spending hours upon hours upon hours in a camper all together, talk to them about your religion and all the little things you want them to know. Don't expect everybody else to do it for you and then get mad and play victimhood when they don't do it perfectly the way you want them to. This woman. Moving on.
That you have to keep to yourself. You don't have to whitewash the polygamy thing with this family, okay?
Oh, I don't?
Just letting you know.
Okay.
My expectation is he's going to have some juicy stuff.
Everybody see this lot right over here? It's not a big important story for my church, but it is kind of a big important story for y'all. Hiram Smith was walking past there one day, and Brigham Young was walking past the other direction. And Hiram said to Brigham, I know that Joseph has been telling you things that he won't tell me. I want you to tell me the truth. Is there polygamy going on? This was Joseph Smith's own brother, didn't know. And so Brigham Young told Hiram Smith all about polygamy and how it was being practiced here in Nauvoo, but very secretly. Hiram the next day went to Joseph and said, Brother Joseph, Brother Brigham has spilled the beans. He's told me about it. I know that I fought you long and hard on this kind of an idea, but I'm ready to be the Lord's tool now. Hiram suggested that Joseph Smith have one of the scribes write down the revelation
that talked about polygamy, which is now Doctrine and Covenants section 132. Kind of a big deal for y'all, right?
A very big deal for us. Thank you. Okay, this is my understanding. Joseph has been commanded by God to take plural wives. It's like, whoa, this is the craziest thing you ever brought together here. Now, did God tell you this or did you make this up? Well, Cody Brown believes that God told him to do it.
Because
Joseph,
Cody Brown wants to do it too.
Of your tour people ask about polygamy.
Oh, yeah. That's the first thing they ask. What about polygamy? Tell me about that. How many wives did Joe Smith really have?
How many?
Well, it's best anybody can count, about 33.
Wow. It was 33. I thought it was 17.
There's pretty good documentation for 33.
Wow. You know, I look back at the Prophet Joseph Smith and their struggles with the principle of plural marriage. I think it's a challenge for those men who have had gigantic families. So he did a fine job of it, but I'm not interested in that big a task.
For the women that he did marry, of those 33, if I remember correctly, 12 of them were already married to other men.
No, they were just sealed to him while they were married to other men.
They were wives in every sense of the word.
Wow. So they weren't like staying with two husbands then, or were they?
They would, yes.
They would.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Okay,
Really?
wait a minute. What? She would wife with Joseph. She would be Joseph's wife, but she'd still be some other guy's wife too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She would divorce the last guy. No, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out here because that's brother husbands. That is.
So we react with a little bit of shock to what Joseph Johnston said, and it turns out that historians are in disagreement. Some have the opinion.
Pause. Historians are in disagreement. It's because Cody's referring to himself as a historian. He's like, this is what the documented proof shows us. These are what the manuscripts we have. These are the letters, the writings, everything we have. I'm curious whether he's going to go into how young some of the wives were. We'll see. But Robin is freaked out over the fact that he took that many wives. Was it 13? I can't remember now. Who were married to other men and then sealed to them as well. So you can sleep with me as well. You can go back to your husband if you want to. I don't care. But I'm also taking you as a wife. She's shocked, but then she turns and just keeps eating. If this were my faith, and I believe this was a revelation from God, I think that would shake my world to find out, oh, and God also said it was okay that he could have all these wives who were married to other men at the time, and they would just sleep with him as well, and he could claim them as a wife when he wanted to bed them. I would be like, something smells fishy. I'm starting to question this whole revelation from God stuff. If it were me. But Robin's just going back to her bologna sandwich.
And that this was simply an issue where Joseph was doing a symbolic ritual simply so that these people would have a blessing in the next life.
You know, it may be.
Oh! And Cody's justifying it and backing him up. Oh, he's just doing a symbolic ritual for them. A symbolic ritual saying, I'm now going to be sealed to you so that you can sleep with me. He's doing that symbolic ritual so that they can have a better afterlife. I'm going to take your wife and sleep with her. It's better for her in the long run. I mean, you don't know. It's in the afterlife, so you're not going to see it here. You just have to trust me. This is what God said. Okay. Moving on.
Be true. It may be that there needs to be more explanation that's not available as to why those actions were taken. We're all speculating at this point why that happened, and so are the historians.
Are they? Why do I feel like there have been writings? People have said that there actually have been writings from women who did this thing. I swear I heard that before. So tell me if I'm wrong, but I swear that I heard that there were journals that were found from these women who were basically, my understanding of it from what I heard, and I'm just doing this based on recollection, and I don't have the writing in front of me. My understanding, if I recall correctly from somebody who was reporting on it at one point, said that the documents were written by women that they found who were told by Joseph Smith. They didn't go willingly. They were happily married women. And Joseph said, I want to sleep with you too, basically. But couched it in different words to make it seem like God is protecting her in the future when she sleeps with me. Because that's the only reason to seal to him. She went back and lived with her husband until he wanted a night with her. Because it's just so disturbing. Moving on.
It doesn't really bother me because my testimony does not hinge on what his actions as a man were. He's not Jesus.
No.
He's not God on earth.
No.
He's a guy.
Yeah.
He's a guy.
Horny one.
Somebody in the mob was so mad, they came up with their rifle with a long bayonet on it, and they rammed it through the prophet Joseph.
And I'm switching to our last banner. These are our Keep the Lights On level supporters. Thank you all.
You know, today we are going to go to Carthage, which is a little bit away, a few miles away. And it's important in Mormon history because it's where Joseph Smith was killed at the jail. So kind of a little sad was the frontier. Justice wasn't quite what we envision it is today.
Okay, we got everybody together here. Where we are right here is really important for what we're going to be seeing today. It was right across the street here where this green building is where the Nauvoo Expositor Press was located.
So the Nauvoo Expositor was a newspaper, and it was actually printing that Joseph Smith was a polygamist or advocating polygamy and so forth. And it was causing some problems within the community. So the Nauvoo City Council actually voted to destroy the press.
They broke it into pieces, burned the newspapers.
They get rid of the press, basically, and they destroy it.
When the Nauvoo Expositor Press was being destroyed, right here where we're standing, there was a 22-year-old young man standing and watching the destruction of the press. His name was William Adams.
That's my great-great-great-grandfather, William Adams, watching this happen. I knew he was there. I knew he watched it, but I didn't know where it was. That's cool.
Yep, this is the spot.
William Adams is just like 22 years old. He has no idea why this is happening. He doesn't know the ins and outs of Nauvoo politics.
I would have been petrified to stand there. I would have been scared because you're watching your community falling apart.
So after burning the press, Joseph issued an order to go to court, to appear for court for the burning of the press. Joseph has to go to Carthage.
Okay, everybody, this is one of the courtrooms here in the Hancock County Courthouse. After the Expositor newspaper press was destroyed up in Nauvoo, Joseph Smith and the city council surrendered themselves up to come and face charges of riot for that destruction of the press. Joseph Smith posted bail for that charge. As he was leaving the courthouse here, the sheriff came up and produced writs for him and Hiram Smith for the charge of treason.
So after burning the press, Joseph orders martial law because it was getting a little bit violent.
Joseph Smith really shut the city down.
And that gets back to the state. The state actually puts a warrant out for Joseph's arrest.
And they were incarcerated in the Carthage jail over there.
This may be folklore, I'll put it that way, but they claim that Joseph says, as he's going to Carthage, it actually says, I'm going as a lamb to the slaughter. It's like
which is a biblical reference for when Jesus got crucified. He's pretty much saying it to put himself on the level of God.
Had some foreboding, something telling him this was it.
Now, we were going to tour the museum over here because they've got a terrific collection. But unfortunately, the director of the museum did not want to have y'all come.
Because we're plagues?
Because you're plagues, yeah.
You know what? Once in a while, you know, it's made very aware to us that we still have prejudice against us. And it's really, it's hard to take it because it's like, I'm just me and I'm accepting people. It hurts.
It's like you can't travel this world and see the whole world and maintain prejudice. And this is why I hope my children travel so they can see other cultures and understand that everybody has a heart and a belief and a hope.
Just because it's a different belief system than you have yourself doesn't mean it's bad or wrong in most cases.
This is the Carthage jail. So Joseph and Hiram.
That's kind of sad. Okay, I will say this is the first and only incidence I can think of on Sisterwives. Let me know if there's another one where they truly did receive judgment for their beliefs. They were discriminated against. They weren't allowed to go into the museum because they're polygamists. Now, no, I take it back. There is another one that hasn't come up yet in our rewatch, but is it Madison or McKelty? I don't remember if it was Madison or McKelty. One of the two of them wanted to join the mainstream LDS church. And the LDS church said no. So the LDS church discriminated against them because they were polygamists. And so they said they couldn't be part of it. So the church, as well as this museum, which I think is an LDS museum. So really their persecution is coming from the LDS, not really from the rest of the world. It's really sort of their own community, their offshoot, they're breaking off. Interesting. As opposed to wanting to educate them and bring them back into the fold, they're like, no, you chose to do this at one point, so we're gonna. Interesting. It's not very Jesus-like, is it? I do question, in fairness, also, did the museum not want them there because they are practicing polygamists? Or is it because they have all these cameras and they're practicing? Like, is it the show and they didn't want to be part of the show? Is it still kind of like, let's keep it on the down low? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you think. Okay, going back. I'll go back 10 seconds.
Belief system than you have yourself doesn't mean it's bad or wrong in most cases.
This is the Carthage jail. So Joseph and Hiram were first put in the dungeon cell, which is at the back of the jail here.
Joseph ends up stuck at Carthage, goes into the jail.
With Hiram.
With Hiram. The jailer puts them upstairs because they hear rumors of people coming to harass them. There are other friends that are there with them. It's getting fairly intense.
Among the people who were there was a fellow by the name of John Fulmer.
John Solomon. My great-great-great-grandfather, John Solomon Fulmer, was actually in the jail with Joseph Smith. So that's who Solomon is named after. He was acting as a lawyer for Joseph Smith, trying to actually get him out of jail. John actually left the jail to go try to get help and try to actually get him out of jail. That night, Joseph Smith was murdered.
She's crying with the fake tears.
They heard us go.
Her eyes are. She's crying over the fact that her great-great-great-grandfather went to go get help and then came back and he was. Oh my gosh. That's so fake. It's so fake. I mean, you could tell me that my great-great-great-grandfather was like a Nazi, and I would be like, that's awful. That's terrible. Or that they were Jewish and they almost escaped, and my grandfather went to help them out, and then when he came back, they were all killed. He's the only one that survived. He wasn't able to save them. I'm not going to start crying over it. I don't know who these people are. So it could be a sad story for sure, but to full on cry over it, to get your eyes to tear up, to stare at a spot on the wall and not blink so that your eyes tear up. That's what's happening. She's ridiculous. She's ridiculous.
The jail to go try to get help and try to actually get him out of jail. That night, Joseph Smith was murdered.
They heard a scuffle at the door. A mob had gathered out here. They just pushed the guard out of the way and charged on up the stairs and started shooting. Hiram was hit twice, just that quick. And he turned around, shot once in the face and once in the back. And he said, "I am a dead man." And he fell backwards, dead, right there. Pretty soon, Joseph Smith saw that there wasn't anything that could be done for.
Mary is wiping away tears. Those I believe. Mary cries at everything. Mary's the most emotional out of all the adults in this family. She cries at the drop of a hat. Real tears. I don't understand why. Again, doesn't really know these people, and they are just people. This is a history story, just to be clear. Anyway, she's crying, and then camera goes in on Cody, and Cody's sitting there. So Cody's listening to the guy speak, and he's like this, and then he goes, there's no tear, there's no moisture at all. But he does one of these. I'm emotional too. Oh, the acting this family does is unreal.
Dead man, and he fell backwards, dead, right there. Pretty soon, Joseph Smith saw that there wasn't anything that could be done for anyone in the room. He knew that he was the one that they wanted. So he went to the window and he yelled, "Oh Lord, my God." And as he was doing that, he was shot from the doorway. He just fell to the ground 13 feet from the window down onto his shoulder. Some guy came over, grabbed him by the hair of the head and pulled him over to the well here. And then somebody in the mob was so mad, they came up with their rifle with a long bayonet on it and they rammed it through the prophet Joseph. And that's where Joseph Smith died.
So what got the mob so mad?
Polygamy was among the things that got the feelings riled up in the county.
The prophet Joseph Smith is killed by a mob. He's executed by a mob. There's no jury. There's no trial. For the Mormon people, it was an apocalypse. And so it leaves you with very mixed emotions. So the rest of the world may struggle to understand what we saw in this man. I believe that he was inspired by God, absolutely. This experience, the history of our faith, is very close to home. It's very close to the heart.
I guess she's ready to start.
When I'm sitting here feeling sorry for myself because my wives are treating me like a ping pong ball and they're all nagging about time with them or something like that, and I'm sitting there going, this is crazy. Why am I doing this? This pilgrimage back to Nauvoo tells me that others have sacrificed so much more so that I could actually live the principle of plural marriage in absolute peace. I'm grateful for this testimony.
Pause. I can live the principle in absolute peace. Oh, really? He's just admitted that all of this, we have to run away, we're going to be persecuted, we're going to get caught by the thing. All of that was fake. They went through all this so we can live in absolute peace. Those were Cody Brown's words. Were you lying then or are you lying now? They don't make sense. They don't go together. Let's finish up.
Joseph Smith to sit here and say, hey, you know what? I know it's crazy and it might cost me my life, but I believe in the principle of plural marriage. Next time on Sister Wives.
Stop talking about my balding. How would you like if somebody, ooh, your hair is thinning?
Well, let's just shave it.
All right.
You know, with Logan leaving for college, there's a reality setting in amongst the family that we're going to have a mass exodus from our homes.
We have to have these houses like home in order for the kids to establish roots. We have
And then we're
to
going to
unite
rip them out
to get them to come back home.
Cody, I have this weird, funky energy with me. It's stressing me out.
Sorry, Mary, I just know that you're going to overspend, and we're way over.
Can you do the others before me? I knew that if I stayed in there, I knew we were just going to blow up.
Mary leaves the room. Cody's sitting there by himself. The other two ladies are across, and he goes, women. He's awful. He's awful. All right. So we don't hear much about Tara, right? I wonder how long Tara was a nanny before the other one took over. The niece. Tara's her sister. I wonder how many years was it? The sister, how many years? Okay, I'm 75 messages behind. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Okay. Let me just kind of do a quick scroll. Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines, and the AUB or other plagues leave out how the wives were Solomon's downfall. Everything in the Bible, when it comes to polygamy, it doesn't turn out well. When there are examples of polygamy in the Bible. Again, we've talked about this before, why and whatnot. But whenever a man took a wife just because, or took a concubine when he wasn't supposed to, especially if he was somebody in leadership, it did not end well. It did not. Brother husbands. Were they child brides? There is documentation now. If you listen to, I think it's called Mormon Stories. There's a guy who is a former Mormon who left after he started doing some deep diving into the history books and documents and all that. And there's a doctrine. This has been a couple years since I've seen this, so I can't speak to it. That's why I say just go there and look it up. But he's pretty well educated on all of it. And there's a head count of how many were underage that Joseph had. It's something that they try to sweep under the rug now, but it happened. Oh, Kristen, Joseph said that the husbands were away on missions and he took the other wives. He was doing them a favor. Those women, they just needed it. They needed, I could see it in their eyes. So I did you solid while you were gone. I did your wife for you. But in order to do that, I had to be sealed to her. So we'll continue to do that every now and then. But now that you're back, I understand that you're her legal husband. Rosie Lee White, God only talk to men. What about the women? Yeah, this is a good question. That's a good question. He spoke to women in the Bible, but not in this polygamous, crazy world of this is what we believe. For some reason, all the prophets are men. How many of these kids have unknowingly married their siblings? Oh, well, there's a good question. Or at least like a close relative. I'd like to know. Oh, it was both of them, Kristen. Thank you. Both Maddie and McKelty tried to join the LDS church, and they were not permitted because they're former polygamists. I don't understand. That's the opposite of being biblical, though. Maybe that's just the Mormon doctrine, I guess. Because they claim that they follow the Bible, but the Bible is 100% all about everybody is a sinner and everybody needs church. And it's supposed to be a place for everyone who's not perfect. I actually saw that on a sign in front of a church. Was it here in Tennessee or was it back in Ohio? Where it said, I think it was back in Ohio, where I don't remember, it had the name of the church and it said, if you're a perfect person living a perfect life, you're not welcome here. It's a good sign. Some of these comments I don't know because you're all talking to each other, so I don't know the reference. I found out some of my past relatives were Confederates, and it disgusted me to know I'm related to such horrible people. I know. But don't be disgusted, because it's not you. It's not you, April. So don't make excuses for it. That's what Cody and Janelle and they're all doing. Well, we don't know. No, what April has said is exactly how it should be handled. You find out that you have people in your past who have done wrong or weren't the greatest people or whatever. I use the example because my grandparents were from Austria and the other grandparents were from Germany. Was there someone in my past that was related? Were any of them Nazis? It would be horrible. I don't know of that, but it's very likely it could be. It's awful. It's awful to think. And I would hate that were the case. I would hope that my relatives were the ones that tried to hide the Jews. I don't know one way or the other. But whether I'm not going to give myself credit if they were the ones that saved Jewish people and hid them in their homes. At the same time, I'm not going to beat myself up today if they were the ones that participated in any of the war crimes. You got to move on. Just treat it as history, learn from it, and move on. Don't beat yourself up now over what people of the past. What's important is that we learn from the past and we make different decisions. It's the same thing with parents who have made decisions in their lives or raised kids in a certain way. Can you break the cycle of something that's been done in the past and make it different for the future? That's what's important. Oh, we had an experience, Nicole. I missed it. Cheers. This container is heavy, so I always think that there's still stuff left in here when it's not. It's very messes with my mind. There's nothing left in there. Couple more and then we'll go. Lightning speaks to Robin. It's true. God doesn't speak to her. Lightning does. The bolt is back. Yeah. There you go, J-Lou. That's what I just said. We shouldn't be shamed for what our ancestors did. Yeah, it wasn't your choice. Just like I don't want to be accused for something my neighbor does just because they happen to be my neighbor, just because they happen to be a past relative of a few generations ago, like even a more recent generation. Like you got to let it go. Just make different choices. Move on. Do better. If each of us does better than the one before, then we're going to be a way better society across the board. Bottoms up. That's right. Living and learning. I judge none of you for anything that has, not only do I judge none of you sister friends for what your parents or your grandparents or your great parents or other generations have done. I don't blame you for mistakes you've made in the past. If you now acknowledge, gosh, I can't believe I did that. but I'm going to change and be better now. That is where we all need to focus on. And we shouldn't be judging anybody for sins of their past if they've repented and they feel sorry and they're changing their ways. Let's make it a better world, sister friends. I'd like to hear that from the sister wives, right? Wouldn't it be nice if they just said, listen, I do believe that this was part of our past. I can't believe it. But we're going to make different choices. Well, they are now, right? They're no longer living polygamy. So it's one step forward. All right, you all. I will see you on Monday. If you're SOS exclusive, be sure to tune in tonight. We're doing another live stream this evening. And if anybody... Oh, wait. We didn't do our idiom. Oh, my gosh. Idioms. Words that Cody uses incorrectly, usually the complete opposite. Let's go to a B word or a B phrase. It begins with B. Okay, I'm trying to think of one that Cody would use opposite. He would probably, there's a couple of them that he would. Well, let's just do this one. Let's just do this one for fun because I have had to look up a picture of this because I've used beat a dead horse so many times. I've used beat a dead horse. I've never heard him say it. He would probably use it incorrectly if he did. Beat a dead horse. The meaning is to pursue a useless goal, to continue fighting a battle that has been lost, to keep arguing a point that has already been decided. The origin is, this saying goes back to the ancient Roman playwright Platus, who used it in 195 BC in one of his plays. The dramatic performance was of trying to whip a dead horse to get it up and carry a load that it was supposed to be moving. This action was shown to accomplish nothing. Today, we say that anyone pursuing an issue that is already settled is beating a dead horse, or talking about something over and over and over again and complaining about it with no useless outcome, beating a dead horse. The example was, quote, he tried to convince his sister, but he was beating a dead horse. I probably have used that 10 times. I've had to look up the little icon of the horse being beaten. Sometimes I don't put it in there because I'm like, okay, it's redundant, Jenny. You're beating a dead horse by always showing the beating a dead horse. But it's always because Cody's always beating a dead horse. It's like, shut up already. Robin does too. Robin does too. All right. That's it for tonight. I will see you all Monday. Same time, afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love to you all. And I bid you a
I remember when Sonny and Cher got divorced when I was 6, and it rattled me. I had a lover in college, and it was a little tryst. I was a naughty boy. I had a dirty thought, and I thought, David and I should go on a guy's trip together.
I might have to agree. That would be cool.
I just thought, no.
David out on a guy's weekend?
Yeah, that's just, it would be cool.
Oh, he was kind of up for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Things that make you go,